From the ABT framework, what do we understand? We understand emotion mapping is very important in storytelling. It is one of the most powerful tools used world across. The business of story needs to understand how to tap into the emotions of the unknown millions outside. Now, for us, for you, the learners, it helps understand that great brand stories don't just inform, they make people feel something specific at the right time, at the right moment. So, I will now try to explain to you as to how emotional mapping is done in this course of yours. Let's first understand what is emotion mapping. Emotion mapping is the process of identifying, planning, and aligning the emotional journey of your audience, of what your audience shall experience as your story unfolds. It helps you answer the question, how do I want my audience to feel at every stage of the story, and why? Every powerful brand narrative, from Nike's Just Do It to Surf Excel's Daag Achhe Hai, takes the audience on a designed emotional journey, not a random one. It is highly planned, it is strategized, and that's how the story is built. Question is, why emotion matters more than information? Neurosciences, we were talking about it, right? Our decisions are made emotionally first, rationally second. The limbic brain, which governs emotion and memory, decides what to trust, remember, and act. That's how our brains work. In fact, a Harvard University study found that emotional engagement is 2x more influential in building brand loyalty than customer satisfaction metrics even. That's why the best storytelling is equivalent to emotional sequencing, which will lead to the brand's purpose. The core idea is every story has an emotional journey. Just like a roller coaster, your story should have emotional peaks, dips, and then releases. When plotted on a graph, the emotional trajectory of a brand story usually looks like comfort, then there is a challenge. Oops, there is a conflict. Wow, I overcome it. There is triumph. And finally, transformation. Now, challenge, conflict, triumph. This is the emotional roller coaster that emotion mapping has to look into while building a brand story. This mapping ensures emotional continuity and brand anchoring so that we don't skip the ad. There are 4 factors that one has to take into consideration. It begins with the story stage. What is the context? What is the audience emotion that I want? What role will the brand play in the entire story? And finally, an example statement. Let me give you some simple, clear sentences combining the story stage, the audience emotion, and the brand's role.
Number 1 is very big. Number 2 is big. भैया एक मिनट देख क्या रे तूने मारा इसको तुझे अब भी देखता हूँ मारता है अभी ये ले ये भी सॉरी बोल और मारो सॉरी बोल रहे
दाग लगने से अगर कुछ अच्छा होता है तो दाग अच्छे हैं ना। सर्फ एक्सेल, दाग अच्छे हैं।
वापस नहीं करना
Be sharp in understanding. In the setup stage, the audience feels curiosity and trust as the brand introduces a relatable world. Like a girl walks to school in the Surf Excel ad. In the conflict stage, the audience feels anxiety and empathy while the brand presents the problem, such as the girl slipping in the mud while helping somebody, so her uniform gets dirty. In the climax stage, the audience feels hope and determination as the brand enables the change. How is it shown? When her friends cheer her to keep going while helping somebody. And finally, in the resolution stage, the audience feels joy and satisfaction as the brand shows transformation, like when she helps her friend and smiles despite all those muddy stains on her uniform. In the transformation stage, the audience feels inspiration and loyalty as the brand connects emotion to the core value expressed in the message of the brand. Daag अच्छे हैं. So you see how you build a story. It's easy, but you need to craft each and every word so that it delivers. There are some 8 primary emotions in brand storytelling, which I have taken from Robert Plutchik's Wheel of Emotions. This is a book written by the gentleman. These are the primary emotions marketeers evoke strategically. Let us look at it in very simple terms. There is an emotion in every story and it functions because the brand needs to garner your attention. Number 1, joy works as a reward and builds belonging, as seen in Coca-Cola's Open Happiness. Trust creates credibility and comfort. Recall any Amul's hoardings or ads. It has wit and we relate to it immediately. Third, fear drives urgency and caution. It is shown in Nivea's sun protection awareness campaign. We don't want to get tanned, right? Anticipation builds curiosity and hope, exactly which Apple takes care in every product launch teasers. Surprise creates delight and memorability, as in Cadbury's famous Gorilla ad, or for that, any Mentos ad in India. Sadness evokes empathy and humanity, powerfully shown in Google's reunion ad about 2 friends cut across India and Pakistan during the partition. Disgust triggers a moral reaction, which it's used in environmental and anti-smoking campaigns world over. Anger fuels justice and activism, as seen in Nike's Dream Crazy campaign with Colin Kaepernick. Great storytellers combine and transit between these emotions smoothly. For example, sadness, hope, joy, as seen in the Google's reunion ad. many viewers cried. Have a look at this ad.
ये मैं, ये यूसुफ, लंगोटिया यार सी मेरा। लाहौर में हमारे घर के सामने एक बड़ा बाग था। उस बाग का गेट बाबा आदम के जमाने। रोज शाम को हमने वहाँ पतंगे उड़ानी और उसके बाद जाके यूसुफ के दुकान से झझरिया चुरा के खानी।
झझरिया?
और मेरा साहब नमस्ते।
नमस्ते, मेरी पोती मुंबई वाली।
और बेटे क्या हाल चाल है? बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूदे फांदे, छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे।
हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
फाजिल स्वीट्स?
हाँ जी। दादाजान, दिल्ली से किसी की कॉल है।
हेलो,
यूसुफ अंकल?
कौन?
जी मैं सुमन बोल रही हूँ दिल्ली से, आपके बचपन के दोस्त बलदेव जी की पोती। याद है बचपन में आप दोनों झझरिया चुरा के खाते थे?
बचपन की तंग गली फिर से कूदे फांदे, छोटी छोटी मीठी चोरी गांठ लेके बांधे। एक पतंग सा उड़ता था परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह, परिंदों की तरह। एक दौर था मन मन मोर था, एक दौर था मन मन मोर था।
पार्टीशन के वक्त हम रातों रात हिंदुस्तान आ गए।
दादू?
यूसुफ दी बड़ी याद आती है।
कागजों की कश्तियों में डूबा रहता था, झांकती खिड़कियों में उलझा रहता था। वो भी क्या दौर था, मन पे न जोर था। एक दौर था मन मन मोर था, एक दौर था मन मन मोर था।
भैया थोड़ा जल्दी।
मन मोर।
हाँ जी, कौन? हैप्पी बर्थडे यारा। यूसुफ, वो यूसुफ, वो मेरे बल्लू, यूसुफ यार।
Now let's think about the emotional arc that many famous brand stories build. Apple, think different. What is the emotion mapping which is happening in think different? Awe, pride, and then aspiration. How can I think different? Why it works actually? It invokes admiration for rebels and creators, leading audience to feel, I am one of them, I am different, right? So Apple gets them in.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Airbnb says belong anywhere. What is the emotion map here? Loneliness, connection, and then belonging. Why did it work across the world? It turns travel into an emotional need, not about staying somewhere, but to feel at home wherever you go.
12 years ago, 3 guests checked into an Airbnb for the first time. Today, 3 new guests check in every half second, making each half second a chance to go from stranger to friend. To embrace another culture. To see yourself in someone else from across the globe. The more we interact with one another, the more we realize our differences are only imagined. People are people, no matter what side of the planet they're from. Today marks the 500 millionth guest arrival on our platform, as well as one more half second towards a world where anyone can belong anywhere.
In Nike, in the Dream Crazy ad, what was the emotional map? Frustration, defiance, rebelling, and empowerment. How did it work? It converted pain into purpose. It told you to fight, not flee.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
Super, he's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical, irrational, or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking? Crazy. Coaching an NBA team? Crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more? Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
For the Surf Excel ad, daag अच्छे हैं. What was the emotion mapping? Guilt, getting dirty. Realization, well, it has got dirty. Joy, because surf will redeem me out of it. Right? So why it works? It reframes a negative activity like getting dirty into a virtue. Learning. So from dirt to learning, surf beautifully took us through their emotional mapping.
अगर कुछ अच्छा करने में दाग लग जाए तो दाग तो अच्छे हुए ना। सर्फ एक्सेल, दाग तो अच्छे होते हैं।